How you doing, friends? I am Joe Craig, host of Keeping It Real and Giving Our Point of View. I got a topic that I want to talk about. Check this out, right? Now, many of you know I've been a school teacher forever, and I work in a school now, middle school kids, which I find gratifying. But let me go back. I remember growing up in my elementary years, and the first, they called it junior high back then. I went to community-based schools. I saw men who wore suits and ties every single day. I saw women who wore dresses. No, they didn't have a Friday jean day. They was dressed every day. But you know what I really liked the most? Is they taught us African American history. You know why? Because they was living it every single day. Now I'm talking about the 60s and the 70s, when we was having the civil rights marches, when we saw on TV of the dogs in real time biting black people. We saw the water hose being put on African Americans. And now if you look at it today, they're trying to scrub all of that history and wrongness from the textbooks. And that's crazy because it did happen. So I'm asking the parents this now. Are you having these conversations in your home? Oh, wait a minute. You're probably too young to remember that. But you can still read about it and you can still pass it down to your children or your child. Are you doing that? When your children come home from school, do you check their work? Do you have them give you writing samples? Do you have them read to you? And I say, folks, we're in a time right now where when I was growing up, and certainly after high school, and then I got my college degrees, we were told back then that the only way out of slavery and bondage was to be educationally savvied up. I believe that today. So parents, I'm asking the question, are we doing that now? I remember after we got desegregated and I went to all white schools and had mostly all white teachers who didn't want to be bothered with us. And some of us, we were called Negroes back then, but then some of them slipped and called us the N-I-G-G-E-R word. I do remember those days. And that is what makes education so important to me today. It teaches you about life. It helps you process information. It helps you understand yourself, the person, the inside of you better. And I don't understand, in my opinion, because I see it all the time, why parents and kids do not collectively understand that they can't read, can't write, can't process, critical think, can't do any of that. And that's where we need to be at right now. The other thing I think should happen too is that parents should not pass down those traits that they didn't like to their kids, because their kids are going to be the same version of them, in my opinion, of course. Let me give you a classic example. I remember one time I was in a Goodwill, because I'm a thrifty shopper. I don't believe in spending my money, my hard-earned money, on all that crazy stuff. Then I ain't got no money left. But anyway, I was in this thrift store, and there were these two African-American ladies in front of me with a little girl. And then the little girl wanted a doll that she saw, a little black doll. And the mom said, nah, you can't have that doll. And then I'm looking behind them. And then the lady, her friend, said, hey, why she can't have the doll? And then mom responded by saying, and I quote, I had a traumatic experience with dolls when I was growing up, so I don't think my daughter should have that doll. Well, me with my big mouth, I jumped in. I was like, ma'am, with all due respect, why can't she have the doll? I understand you were traumatized to a degree as a child, But what you're doing is you're passing down that negative trait to her. And I don't think that's fair. Now, she didn't slap the shit out of me. No, she didn't. Her friend agreed with me. The point I'm trying to make is, folks, we love our kids, but we can't make them mini us. We have to keep the level of success and the independent value system going. Because if we don't, these kids are going to be ruined. In my opinion, they're already getting ruined to school because many, they're not learning anything. But that's a whole nother subject and a whole different topic. Here's my points, folks. You got children or a child. They're not your friend. They shouldn't be a mini version of you. They shouldn't be allowed to do whatever they want to do. Because you're the parent and the child. So let's take it back. Are you with me? My name is Joe Craig, host of Keeping It Real, and you have my point of view on my history and my past and the present and my hope for the future for our children. Thank you. Be blessed.